Hello guys and welcome back to Champions League predictions. We are back predicting the second leg of the round of 16 games and these games are massive. Let's see which 8 teams are going to the quarterfinals. Be sure to share your predictions down in the comments. Be sure to drop a like if you like what you see. Let's go for 2,000 likes and once again a massive thank you for your support on the Champions League videos. It's been amazing. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get to 94,000 subscribers next with your great support. So like, subscribe and comment with your predictions. And without further ado, let's get into the Champions League predictions. We start then with Barcelona versus Benfica, and Barcelona are in a very strong position here. They have a 1-0 lead and they are at home for the second leg. Look, I thought Barcelona would get through this tie. They are the quite strong favourites to be honest, but I tell you what, Benfica did have a massive opportunity to take some form of advantage from their home game, but they lost and Barcelona had a red card after just 22 minutes. Benfica did try, they had their moments, but look, at the end of the day, if you don't take your chances, you will be made to pay, especially against a team as good as Barcelona. And it was one of those players we've highlighted, Rafinha, who scores, and he's scored, like, what, 10 goals in the Champions League this season? He's been on fire. So, with it being like this, I do think Barcelona now get the job done. As I say, it really does feel like Benfica's big chance came in the home leg with the man advantage for 70 minutes and they didn't take it. Look, they could still do it. We've seen strange things happen in the Champions League before, but I will go with the favourites to get through quite comfortably now. I'm going to go Barcelona 4, Benfica 1, which would mean Barcelona 5-1 on aggregate. This one to me does feel fairly straightforward. Feel free to share your thoughts down in the comments if you disagree, but I do think Barcelona will get the job done, and once again I do think Rafinha and probably Lewandowski will get involved with some goals. I'm going for Barcelona to get to the Champions League quarterfinals. The next game then sees Bayer Leverkusen taking on Bayern Munich, and wow, talk about taking advantage in the home advantage. Bayern Munich are 3-0 up now coming into this one, and it would take something absolutely extraordinary for Bayer Leverkusen to get to the Champions League quarterfinals. Once again, the first leg in this game did see a red card, but it didn't completely change everything if we're going to be honest. Bayern Munich were 2-0 up before Bayer Leverkusen got a red card on about 60 minutes. Harry Kane had scored, Musiala had scored, and then after the red card, Harry Kane scores from the penalty spot to make it Bayern Munich 3, Bayer Leverkusen 0, and that third goal just might be the tipping point. I think 2-0 is doable for Bayer Leverkusen, but 3-0 might be a stretch, and Bayern Munich can now double down on being hard to beat here. And look, they can lose by 1 goal, they can lose by 2 and still get through. Don't get me wrong, Bayer Leverkusen are impressive and I do think there will be a strong reaction. They have to go for this, so surely the game will be open, but it could suit Bayern Munich to be quite counter-attacking in this game, absorb the pressure and hit them on the counter. And if Bayern get 1 goal here, Bayer Leverkusen will obviously need to get 4. I think Leverkusen might win on the night, seeing as they are the team that needs to attack, but not enough for a comeback for me. I'm going to go Leverkusen 2, Bayern 1, which would mean Leverkusen 2, Bayern Munich 4 on aggregate. And I did say in my sort of early Champions League knockout predictions that I fancy Bayern Munich. I had quite a few people telling me that, you know, Leverkusen have a great record against them, but they're going to have to do something special, like I say here, to get through. But I'm going for Bayern Munich to get to the Champions League quarterfinals. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. The next game then is between Inter Milan and Feyenoord, and Inter Milan keep up their incredible defensive record in the Champions League this season with yet another clean sheet away at Feyenoord, and on top of that a 2-0 advantage. Now, I was quite close with my prediction here. I did say Inter Milan would win at Feyenoord 1-0, and obviously they went on to get a second. It was Thuram who scores first, Martinez who got the second, and once again, it feels like this one is quite self-explanatory. It would take something special for Feyenoord to get through. They have got good players, but I just don't see a way past this Inter Milan defensive record. And although not many people might think Inter Milan are one of the favourites to win the Champions League, you know, there's some really powerful teams here. What is absolutely instrumental in years gone by in knockout tournaments is having a solid defence you can depend upon. And I think they're going to get another clean sheet here. In fact, I'm going to go for the same scoreline. Inter Milan 2, Feyenoord 0, which would mean Inter Milan 4, Feyenoord 0 on aggregate, and Inter Milan also get through to the Champions League quarter-finals. Let me know your thoughts. Will Inter Milan get the job done, and how far can they get? Let's move on to the next one then. It's at Anfield as Liverpool take on PSG, and once again, the first leg has really shaped which way this one is going to go for me. I did already think that Liverpool would get through. In fact, I did back them to win 2-1 at PSG, and they won 1-0, courtesy of a late Harvey Elliott goal. 87 minutes on the clock, but let's talk about Alisson. What a performance. He was an absolute man-mountain in that goal. And once again, clean sheets, defences, goalkeepers are what title-winning and cup-winning teams are built upon. And I really think Liverpool could go the full distance here. Liverpool did win in the Premier League at the weekend 3-1 against Southampton. And something I have said now is that because they're so clear in the Premier League, I really do think they can divert a lot of their attention to the Champions League. As well as that, they have got the Carabao Cup final coming up, but I think they're going to do the job again here. And you know what? I think Alisson might keep another heroic clean sheet, and I just can't see past Liverpool at Anfield under the lights in the Champions League. I'm going to go 2-0. I think Liverpool are going to get the job done 3-0 on aggregate. PSG, of course, have quality players, and Dembele will try and cause some problems, but Liverpool can be so dangerous down the other end, and so long as they keep things tight, they get through. Liverpool 2-0, 3-0 on aggregate is my prediction. Let me know yours. The next game then sees Lille take on Borussia Dortmund, and here we go. This is maybe the game which looks the closest on paper going into the second leg, because the first game was a draw. It was the only first leg of the Champions League round of 16 to finish in a draw. It was 1-1. Adeyemi, we've highlighted him. He scored for Borussia Dortmund halfway through the first half. And then Lille do find an equaliser exactly halfway through the second half. And it's anyone's game here. Lille have performed better in the Champions League so far, and they now have the home advantage. So are they the favourites? Maybe. They've been really impressive, but Dortmund have goals in them. So once again, I think this is a game where both teams score, and I'm going to go for another 1-1, and I will go with Dortmund to win on penalties. I really do think this game could go the distance, struggling to separate them. They're both brilliant, but it would be typical of a German side to get through on penalties if it gets to it. So I will go Lille 1, Borussia Dortmund 1, which is 2-2 on aggregate, and Dortmund to win on penalties. Let me know your thoughts. That one is very close. Next then, and we go to the Emirates for Arsenal versus PSV. And is there any point predicting this? It's 7-1. I did say, actually, before that first leg, that my concern for Arsenal was, where are the goals going to come from? Have they got an out-and-out striker? But wow, they shut me up. And to be fair, I think a lot of Arsenal fans will have thought, where did that result come from? They're pretty much through now, aren't they? They could put their kids out. Arsenal could put their under-15s out and they might still get through. PSV are a good team and they have to come here and try and restore some pride, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know what to say at this point. I mean, PSV might win 2-0, but it doesn't really mean anything because they still lose 7-3 on aggregate if that happens. Let's go for some more goals, and let's go for Arsenal to make it 10 on aggregate. Arsenal 3, PSV 1, which would mean Arsenal 10, PSV 2. On aggregate. Absolutely crazy. Honestly, it's really hard trying to predict this. I wouldn't blame Mikel Arteta for rotating the team, but you want to try and keep some positivity and confidence and momentum going, then yeah, he might put out some of the better players again. But I think Arsenal are pretty much through already. Let me know your thoughts on how far they will get in the Champions League. Should Arsenal not mess up here and get through, they will get one of the Madrid teams in the quarterfinals, and that is very juicy. On to the next one then, and we stay in England as we go to Villa Park. Aston Villa take on Club Brugge. Once again, it's fairly self-explanatory. The only thing that could make this quite interesting is if Club Brugge get an early goal. If they're winning at half-time, it sets it up for a grandstand finish. But are they going to do that? I don't know. Villa, very impressive in that first game. Bailey gets the first goal. There was an own goal, and then Asensio scores from the penalty spot. He's been great, by the way. And on top of that, Villa have also won in the Premier League at the weekend, beating Brentford 1-0. So Confidence and momentum is a big thing, and I think Villa might actually win again, even though they don't need to. A draw is fine, but Villa are going to go for it in my opinion. Villa 2, Club Brugge 0, which would mean Villa 5, Club Brugge 1 on aggregate, and would set up an Aston Villa versus Liverpool Champions League quarter-final. Oh mate, I'm looking forward to that if that happens. Let me know your thoughts, Aston Villa fans. Credit to you. Looks like you're going to the final 8. And finally then, we have Atlético Madrid versus Real Madrid, and ooh, this is not easy, you know. Real Madrid are one of the favourites to win the Champions League, and they have won the first game, but they are away now, and 2-1 is a close scoreline. This one might go the distance, you know, but even if it does, even if it goes to extra time and penalties, I still think Real Madrid will win. I've said it before, even if they don't play well, they find a way to win. They've got a real winner's mentality. The first game was pretty good. Rodrigo scores after 4 minutes. Alvarez, who we've highlighted, of course, scores on half an hour. And then Brahim Diaz wins the game for Real Madrid. I think it wouldn't surprise me if Atlético Madrid take the lead and Real Madrid score late to break Atletico hearts. So I'm going to predict Atletico Madrid 1, Real Madrid 1, which does mean Atletico Madrid 2, Real Madrid 3 on aggregate. I just can't see past Real Madrid. Look, don't get me wrong, Atletico are great. They've got Alvarez, they've got Griezmann, they've got goals in them. They are exciting to watch, but I just think Real Madrid in these tournaments just find a way to keep getting through. And like I say, that would mean they play Arsenal in the quarterfinals, which would be another good game. Let me know your thoughts on Atletico versus Real. And so then, there you have it. That is my Champions League round of 16 second leg predictions. That would mean I have Barcelona, Bayer Leverkusen, Inter, Liverpool, Dortmund, Arsenal, Villa and Real in the quarterfinals. Let me know your lineup with your predictions down there. Be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe. Thank you so much for your support on the Champions League predictions. Get involved, it takes 2 seconds, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Take care, everyone. Peace out.